It happened. I knew it would. The damn alarm just came on and interrupted the video, so I'm going to have to do this in 2 parts, okay? So, right back to where I was. Apologies if you're watching these videos separately and you're like, wow, this lady's like starting in the middle of the story. That's not true. I will title them both the same and just put part 1 and part 2. Sorry about that. I'm setting into a schedule with my son. So, shit, you know, I knew that was going to freaking happen. Anyways, so comparing themselves to managers and while treating Fluffy over here like a god. And whether we're talking about the dog outside or the ones indoor, we're talking about a lot of manipulation. This is just a really disturbing situation. And like I said, I've been in situations similar where like I wasn't allowed to like sleep on the couch even though I was working and paying all my mother's bills, and I was young and she would just manipulate me, and I wasn't as strong as I am today. And the dog was allowed to be on the couch. You know, dog was treated great, you know, like Fluffy's king, and I'm just fucking Ashley. You know, I'm just your fucking kid, the only child my parents planned for and had, and claimed that they loved me so much, and they both abused me all throughout my life in multiple ways. It damaged me so much. Don't pull out your fiddles, I'm not having a pity party, I'm just explaining that I'm 37 damn years old. It took me until, my early 30s to start healing, and I'm never going to completely heal, and I've never had a relationship with my parents. I'm not fully blaming dogs on this. If I was to blame anything, I would blame pharmaceutical drugs, you know, but that's a story for another time. In fact, maybe I'll cover that one day. You guys let me know if you're interested in the progression of my mother's dog nuttery craziness. He also told me a story at one point about how they force him to protect their plates of food when they need to get up and walk away, because clearly these loyal animals of theirs, these dogs, will steal their food. I don't know about anybody else. I know a couple of you here have dogs, but for the majority, we're all hate dogs, ban dogs, fuck that, right? But I had a few dogs when I was younger, and I was a dog trainer, as I said, and I've never, okay, had to do that. And one of the ways you train a dog, and once again, I said this before, the best kind of dog is one that doesn't trust you. If you have a problem with dogs like taking children's toys and chewing them, stealing your food, anything, I'll give you a huge tip right now. This is a good way to fix it, but most people are going to think I'm evil, but this is how you do it. Here's Fluffy. Here's my chicken, okay? And it's on a plate. If Fluffy ends up taking my chicken and stuff and we're having a problem, you beat Fluffy's ass and correct him. Even if you're just doing it with a paper or you're spanking him on the butt. I'm not talking about, guys, I'm not talking about like abuse and neglect and like beating it until it's bleeding and dying and all that. You beat Fluffy's ass a little bit, right? Then you put the chicken down on the floor and leave it there. And you stay close. Fluffy's gonna walk over to the chicken and sniff it. You come over and correct him. Now you can do it like the damn butt-fucking dog whisperer. Just, you know, me, I'm more of a dominator. I will get Fluffy and put my knee on Fluffy and push down. Dogs respond to dominance. Okay, that's why I said. And no, you goddamn dog, don't be taking my food. Okay? Then you let Fluffy go. This usually only takes so many times. I've never put up with anything like that, but back to the story. And, you know, I've got millions of stories about stuff like that, by the way. Been training them a long time. Up until about 5 years ago, something like that. Anyways, so they're forcing him to protect their food when they walk away. They have to use the restroom, whatever's going on. And if the dog does get the food and he fails to do what they've asked him to, they will punish him and berate him and pick on him. It is not his job to protect your plates of food from your stinking ass dogs, okay? Now, disagree with me if you want. I think that's pretty fucking stupid. And once again, I find this whole situation quite abusive and disturbing, to be honest. I can't wait until this individual is out of this situation. You know, you keep treating people like this and you're gonna get damaging, devastating mental side effects. For the longest time when I was younger, I was very violent, always out fighting, getting into trouble. I was so hurt and so angry from the way I was treated when I was young. I couldn't have decent relationships. To this day, I avoid partnerships for a multitude of reasons, and part of it's just because I was messed up so much when I was younger that I have trouble building relationships and keeping them. It's very sad because I'm actually a really nice person that cooks and cleans, and I'm a good mother. I work really hard. I have a lot of talents, but I have trouble, and that's because my whole childhood is based off of not having any proper relationship and not making excuses. I work on it every day, and I have, hopes in the future that I'll be able to feel comfortable doing that. So he often eats in the kitchen because they've all realized, I noticed he said that the living room reeks like urine. So obviously the dogs have found a place that they're scent marking in there. Once again, I would never, people don't train their dogs the way we used to. It used to be that they would get punished for things like this. Now it's all like, oh, Fluffy pissed on the couch again. Let's go pour some vinegar on it. And you guys, they're not getting the smell out of anything. And any dog that smells that scent marking is going to go right back and piss all over it again, right? So he is eating in the kitchen to get away from the smell of urine, because anybody who's been forced to be around these things knows, it's just in your nose. You're getting all of this fecal matter and urine, ammonia, and you're sitting there trying to eat and breathe in between bites, and it's just like it's horrifying. I feel so bad. Unfortunately, I've been in this situation. I know a lot of other people in this situation, and it doesn't always have to be because the dog's dirty. Sometimes it's just an uncomfortable situation all the way around. They have punished him, like I said, and take items away from him. They seem to bully this kid because he doesn't like dogs, but I have to be honest, it seems that these people are just abusive and bullies. So if it wasn't dogs, it would be something else. If he said something about, I don't know this, but like say they drank beer and he was like, it kind of makes me uncomfortable being around super drunk people, and he just wants to go like hide in his room or do whatever. I could see these guys going and like bullying him out of his room and picking on him because he's not fitting their idea of, and dude, you guys, just when you do that to people, you're not helping them grow. You're not going to change their mind. And in fact, you're probably going to get the opposite effect. This person's going to turn into everything that you're doing to them. You keep bullying and picking on someone like that, they're either going to curl up inside themselves and become reclused, scared, soft, or you'll get what happened to me. I became a monster. I was so resentful, so angry. I'm just really glad that I didn't become some kind of long-term criminal or serial killer or something, because all of the factors were there. Early childhood abuse, both physical and sexual, drinking, drugs, parents in and out of the system, constantly. 1 minute they're vilifying me and making me out to be the bad guy and I'm the dumb one, and the next minute they're like complimenting me and making me feel creepy in all kinds of certain ways. My father specifically always making me feel uncomfortable, always commenting about my looks to his friends and family, always picking on me. Here's a decent thing to share before we wrap this up. So this will be my own personal story, not dog related, but still abusive parent related. I had a severe phobia of cockroaches all my life. It didn't matter if they were German cockroaches, little tiny ones that show up when people are dirty. I didn't really have to deal with that. We weren't that dirty. Or sewer roaches is what I kept having to deal with. And, they come from the sewage. If you live in the city or you're like in Phoenix and stuff, they're like there. You can't do anything about it. Some people like clog up their drains or pour bleach in the drains and shit at night to try to keep them from showing up. These tactics but my father would pick on me relentlessly, and guess what it did? It only made it worse. I got worse and worse and worse, and the phobia got so serious that it was to the point that I would faint when I would see one. Just straight pass out. Then I'd wake up in a panic because I'm afraid the damn thing's on me, right? I'm, smacking myself. And when I finally got away from them, and one of my parents is still alive, I just choose not to talk to them. This is too toxic. I wasn't growing. I finally got away from these guys. The first time I spazzed out, well, there were a few of them, so a lot of my friends had to deal with me freaking out about roaches, right? But finally one day, something happened, there was a cockroach, and I'm spazzing the fuck out, and my friend stops and goes like, "Dude, Ashley, it's okay. You know, it's just a cockroach, we'll take care of it." He's like, "Just take a deep breath." And I'm like, and I didn't pass out, and we got rid of the cockroach, and all of a sudden, my phobia started going away. I'd never had anybody be supportive about this issue I had. Even my friends over the years would laugh at me, and it was like this joke, and they're always bringing it up around everybody and just further berating me and in a sense, like bullying me. I know we all think it's fun in games. Like, you know, my friends thought it was funny. "Oh, haha, Ashley's afraid of roaches. Let's put a plastic roach here. Let's laugh at her. Let's..." No, it was the first time in my life anyone was just calm and sweet about it. And guess what? I don't have a phobia anymore. It's gone away over the past 4 or 5 years. I can literally even reach down and kill them with tissue. That's never happened. I've never even been able to kill them. I would kill them with some peroxide or bleach water or whatever, and I would go barf. And if I wasn't barfing, I was dry heaving and like freaking out. And then I couldn't pick up the body. I couldn't vacuum it up because it's in the vacuum. And if I like found a sewer roach on like a pair of my clothes on the floor, I would throw them in the trash. I can't ever think about it. Oh my God, you know, there was, and nowadays, complete opposite. I am so grateful to my friend that support it. He didn't even realize what he was doing. He was just being a good person. He was doing what I needed to hear all of those years. You guys want to guess how damn old I was when that finally happened? 31 years old. So basically 25 years, you want to count like past my young adolescence, of a phobia that was so crippling that if one showed up, I couldn't even go in the house. I mean, I even had called a friend of mine and was like, "There's one on my porch. I can't get in my door. It's died right in front of the door. I'm crying." You imagine? Like, I'm a bad motherfucker, right? And I was back then too, but there was this one thing that just was ruining my life. It sounds dramatic, but it's a lot, and it was messing with me even on the ranches and farms, because there's plenty of like cockroaches and little like bugs that look like them and stuff. Now, not even a thing. I'm totally fine. I can kill them with the bleach. I can clean them up with the towel. I can flush them. I can everything, and I don't even think about it. It doesn't even hit me anymore. I don't even go like, "Oh," none of that. I'm cool. So, just a small example of how much kindness can do versus berating and pushing people around, and it's really sad. So I feel for this person, and I feel for any of the rest of you that have had to deal with this, because I know it's not just me, and I know it's not just him, and that's why I felt compelled to make this video. Plus, I've been sitting around worrying about him, because when I don't see him on my page for a couple days, I assume that they've like taken his phone, or who knows, these people sound weirdos. It's like a house with 1,000 corpses or something. So, you know, I hope he continues to stand up for himself, and I hope he goes to work and saves up and gets himself his own little trailer. Trailers are cheap, so it's really easy, right? And you can find them online, you know, for pretty reasonable prices. I hope, or apartment, I don't give a crap. Go off to college. Whatever he's got to do to get away from these people, because that's when the healing begins. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this video up. I know, not nearly as comical as usual, but I've been told I'm funny on accident, so that's great. Serious topic, though, and, you know, I laughed all the way through the bestiality video, because that's funny to me. But anyways, thank you to all of you. I do still have all your suggestions, still working on that. From bottom of my dog-hating heart, I appreciate every one of you and wish you all peace and happiness and good people in your life that build you up and make you feel better and stronger, not weak and scared and sad. And I hope I can be one of those people as well. As usual, like I say, my email's up. You guys can always get a hold of me if you ever even want to chat. I'm like that. I want to be there for my fellow man. Be surprised what a little kindness and time does for someone's psyche and their well-being. Fuck Fluffy. Fuck Fluffy. And until the next video, which will be tomorrow, I appreciate every one of you. Have a good night.